Hello everyone and welcome back to round 11 of the F123 Lancia career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for my home Grand Prix. Formula 1 returns to Silverstone. Of course, if you missed out on the last video that went live from Austria, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Safe to say, we're hoping for a better race weekend this time around. There still yet to score a point this season. We have been waiting so patiently. I cannot believe how much bad luck we've had so far in this campaign. Will today finally be the day we get some redemption here? We have got a couple of upgrades going on the car as we head into the weekend, and there we go. They will go on as well, which is always wonderful. And we will up the driver's awareness as well. Richard Shaw, of course, might not be staying with the team much longer. But yeah, plenty of upgrades still in the work at the moment. We've got a lot of big upgrades going on behind the scenes. But honestly, we're a little bit desperate for cash at the moment. I'm going to try and obviously sign a new second driver at the next break. And then as we head into the second half of the year, of course, we're going to try and spend a lot of money on getting more of these facilities upgraded so we can put more upgrades on the car and of course get ourselves ready to fight for Season 2. But yeah, British Grand Prix this weekend. Hopefully we can try and have a stronger run than we did in Austria. We know we've got pace in the car. Let's get into qualifying. Quickly, before we get into that though, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you're planning on making any sim racing purchases over this holiday season, it would be greatly appreciated if you would use my links down in the description below. We've partnered up with Fanatec, Moser, Camus, Logitech, Thrustmaster, and even Amazon to help you guys out. Of course, it costs you no extra money at all, but if you use those links, you help support the channel for free, and maybe you can start using the same sim racing gear that I use. So yeah, check the links down in the description below. Like I said, costs you nothing, but I get a small kickback if you decide to purchase anything, and it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Well, it certainly wouldn't be the British Grand Prix without the threat of some changeable conditions. Sunday is predicted to be a very, very damp affair, but yeah, Saturday afternoon here from the British Grand Prix is also likely going to be a little bit crazy with some changeable conditions. Making our way out of the final corner to kickstart my first run in Q1. Not really too sure whether we'll see Q2 today. We know the AI is a very, very strong track for the AI on the game. So yeah, if we make Q2, I'll be very, very happy. But of course, need to try and put on a show as well for the home crowd. You know, we've got Lando, Lewis and George all fighting at the front. I don't expect us to be there with them, but hopefully we can deliver something special. On first lap here has felt fairly tidy. No major errors, but certainly hasn't felt like an out of this world lap either. Should give us a good benchmark of what we need to be chasing throughout the rest of qualifying as we make our way through the final chicane up towards the line. Let the car really hang out through that penultimate corner. 27.4 puts us into P10 then, so okay. Our pace is a lot more competitive here than we'd expected. And as we're into the final 30 seconds of Q1, rain is apparently imminent here. We're down to P14. We've got a lot of other cars trying to improve on their previous laps. We're going to try and go out for one last ditch attempt here if the times do continue to tumble. But with that rain potentially on the horizon, we have now got to really hope, to be honest, that either it rains right now or it doesn't rain at all. There, Gasly doing a really bad job getting out of the way as we start our lap. He did give us a little bit of slipstream to kick it off. We do get a nice tidy run out of the loop there. That was pretty beautiful on the exit and allows us to carry all the speed as we make our way down the Wellington Straight there. Final few cars coming through, and we are into the drop zone here, so this needs to be a big improvement. This needs to be a lap that sees us into Q2. We're 2/10 up at the moment. This is pretty good, but it's gotta be better there. Bottas is going to be the benchmark. He sets a 1:03.6 by the end of Sector 2. Let's take a deep breath as we make our way through the old turn one. Slight blend of throttle. Not quite confident we can take it fully flat, but into the S's. Not going down a gear through the first part, down 2 gears, and then down another one as we make our way out onto the hangar straight then. Such a famous section of tarmac here at Silverstone. Richard Shaw, my teammate, gives us a little bit of slipstream as well. But making our way through, very, very wide down the end of the straight. We're going to compromise ourselves a little bit of time.
This session, and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap, or that's qualifying over for us.
Mark talking to me like it's Drive to Survive on the middle lap, but through the final corner. Will it be enough to see Q2? I'm not convinced it is. I think we might be out here. P15, we sneak through. That really was close at the end of qualifying, but looks like our two fellow Brits putting on a show at the front of the field there. Russell quicker than Hamilton in Q1, but we only just squeezed by there. Quarter of a second from Yuki Tsunoda in 11th all the way down to Magnussen in P18. But yeah, as we head into Q2, potentially more changeable conditions here, but I'm happy we've made it this far. Well, again, as we get ourselves into Q2 here, it looks like once more, rain apparently is going to start falling at any moment, so everyone is pretty much heading straight out onto a lap. If we get one clean run in the dry and a few other drivers make mistakes, maybe we can try and move ourselves a little bit further up the order here. But let's unleash some sweat mode then for our one and only Q2 run. So far, this lap has felt incredibly tidy as we make our way down in Sector 3. Track temp is dropping off slightly. Neither Red Bull getting a particularly good first run on the board. We kept it a bit cleaner as we make our way down the end of the hangar straight. Through the final chicane we go. Get as close to those sausage curbs as you dare. That was pretty tidy. And out of the final corner up towards the line. That's going to be a 1:26.7. It was pretty much a perfect lap here. But now I'm hoping the rain will start falling as we get out of the way of an Aston Martin. Now, come on, let it rain, because we have got a chance to make Q3. Well, there we go then. Some major errors for other drivers means somehow we've snuck through there. 26.7 was pretty much theoretically, I think, everything I was going to get out of the car. Russell and Hamilton again trading fastest times. But we were never expected to make Q3 here. Alex Albon, I'm sure, very, very happy to join us as well. But Sergio Perez and Oscar Piastri out in Q2. It's a huge bonus, but let's see what we can do into Q3. And as we make our way into Q3, then you can see the rain has just started to fall here. It is meant to get worse and worse as Q3 goes on. So we're going to take this very seriously and try and be the first car out onto the circuit. Everyone is heading out here. This has now become one-shot qualifying here at Silverstone. Well, I wonder if we're going to see anyone just head straight out onto a set of the intermediates. Honestly, I don't think we're a million miles away from it, but yeah, we've got to make sure we maintain temperature in these soft tyres on our right lap and just get on with it. Usually, rain splotches on the screen is a good indicator that it is about time to switch over to the inters, but we've got to go for it. This has got to be a really, really brave lap here at our home venue. We've put on a show up to this point. We've joined our fellow Brits in Q3. Now, will there be any chance of beating any of them here in qualifying? The understeer through the loop was pretty dreadful, but I can only imagine that other cars are going to be facing even worse conditions. George Russell is still pushing me along, and we might be tripping over the Merc slightly. Got to be a bit selfish though at the moment. We want to try and deliver our own team's results. much do we lift off through the old turn one? It's definitely not flat, but it is still only down a gear there. And that was a pretty tidy run. George Russell, though, I think he's getting more and more impatient behind me, potentially aware of the time he is losing. But as we navigate our way through the Maggotts and Beckett's complex, we actually get really nice traction on the exit. Here comes George Russell, though. If he's going to do it, I want him to get a move done off the racing line. And he's not going to go for it. George Russell there, just kind of awkwardly sitting on our inside. Two Brits tripping over each other as we make our way down in towards the final chicane here. Russell, yeah, really has made a hash of that. And out the final corner we go. Will we even manage to go quicker than the Merc up to the line? It's a 31.5. Russell will go 0.2 faster, but Albon will go half a second quicker than him. Other times surely are going to be improving. Carlos Sainz now goes up fastest, but those times are not improving by a lot. Will we see the Red Bull be able to go even faster? I'm not too sure what George is doing. I think they are all still going quicker than me. Lando Norris now onto a 130 flat. And now basically everyone knows that is the one opportunity we had here to try and take pole position. Not too sure what Alex Albon's doing. Carlos Sainz, though, can't go much quicker, so times now are starting to struggle. Well, you know what? The track getting more and more slippery here at the end of Q3. Whether it's just a bit of a show run for the fans or whether it is about trying to get some Delta data ready for race day Sunday. We're going to go for one final run here. Looks like championship leader Verstappen has had a nightmare and through the final corner. We've already ruined the lap. I would be intrigued to know if we could go any quicker, though. Yeah, no chance. No chance at all on this lap. We lost a few tenths from not having the DRS anymore. But yeah, track definitely getting worse and worse there. The intermediates were never going to try and provide us a bit of an extra lifeline. It is P9 on the grid, ready for the British Grand Prix. But we have out-qualified our reigning double world champion. Let's get into it here from Silverstone.
Welcome to not only the home of British motorsport, but also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. Silverstone circuit then is 3.6 miles long, has a total of 18 corners, and of course is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Albon, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Russell, Firestarter, Verstappen, Perez, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Stroll, Ricciardo, Bottas, Magnussen, Joe, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Richard Verschoor. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Right, mate, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but I want you to treat it like any other race. Let's not make any unnecessary risks, please.
This might be one of the first times I've seen the Lancia coat overalls for the team, and they look absolutely incredible here. But yeah, it's very, very slick here at Silverstone today. I'm wondering whether the full wet tyres might be the way to go. Team is adamant they are not going to be the viable strategy. But could we try and no-stop this thing? Spring a surprise against our competitors? Although I am very much expecting a red flag or a safety car here. It's going to get spicy. There are a few penalties around. Lando Norris on the pole. Can he convert? Here we are, though, lining up on the grid for the British Grand Prix, waiting on those 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go. They're trying to put the power down, as it looks like Perez has got a good start. Gasly gets a little bit caught out behind Carlos Sainz there, down in towards turn 1, as Perez tried to look round my outside through the first corner. Not going to give him any room there, as down the inside of Pierre Gasly we go. Alex Albon, of course, don't forget, in that Williams, right up at the front of the field after qualifying, but everyone just trying to feel their way around the venue on this opening lap. It is going to be a very, very testing afternoon here from Silverstone. But Lando Norris, though, clean out in front. of the GP on this opening lap. As you just see they're snagging the front brakes, will allow Verstappen through and instantly up into P8 then of the Grand Prix. So he's made a good start then from 10th. We've not gained, not lost anything, as Gasly will lose a couple of spaces as well. But yeah, just going to try and move the brake bias around ever so slightly then to give us a better chance. But as you can see, Verstappen there, the confidence he could carry through the old Turn 1. He is a man on a mission today, of course, still locked into that big title fight with Charles Leclerc. Can he deliver a big result from P10? Well, I want to take a look then at this start from Pierre Gasly's point of view, because this is a fantastic example of a good start that suddenly turns very, very bad there. You can see, gets good traction relative to the two cars in front of him, and Carlos Sainz just says absolutely not there. Now suddenly George Russell is going to be able to have a look down the inside of him at the first corner there. So already it's gone from looking like a couple of places gained to a spot lost. And then here I come steaming in down at turn 3 there. Pierre, I wouldn't say jumped out of the way, but certainly had to get out of it there as we run just a little bit wide through the next corner. Gasly fancies himself a look back down the inside there, but has to give up on the position. And there we go, Pierre Gasly losing out off the start of the GP. He might even lose more here. Verstappen now having a look down the inside in towards the next corner. We almost go 3 wide there. Verstappen does in fact take 2 for the price of 1. And Gasly once again left battling me. But again, we'll be left with nowhere to go on the exit of the hairpin. We're already losing touch with some of the cars in front, but that is to be expected here. We do not have the pace to match what we were able to achieve in qualifying here at Silverstone. Like I said, either we can try and go for a bit of a cheeky strategy. How is the tyre wear looking as we make our way out onto the back straight? 4% already, so it's not going to be out of the realms of possibility. Sergio Perez in the second Red Bull, practically pushing me along at the moment. So I believe, though, one of the Ferraris has just completed a move on Alex Albon. So he is starting to cause a little bit of a train here early on as yellow flags out. Someone going slowly. Is that a car in front or is it a car behind? I believe it might be a car. Oh, it's one of the front runners. It's Lando Norris. I think Lando Norris might be out of the Grand Prix. He got in the way through the first couple of corners, and from pole position on Saturday, it is going to amount to nothing come Sunday's race here. Lando Norris pulling over to the wayside. He is out of the British Grand Prix here. Heartbreak.
Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
And that is going to bring out a virtual safety car as well this afternoon. Going to give us a chance to help look after the tyres, as long as we don't get done for going under the delta. But yeah, Lando Norris, a heartbreaking end to a race that showed so much promise. We go then, Lando Norris making his way through the first couple of corners. Just here on the onboard, it's gone. It's gone, it's broken, I think would probably be the best way to describe it there, as he kind of gets in the way through the next couple of corners here. Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton just trying to get round him. And yeah, that is a really, really disappointing end to the afternoon for Lando Norris. Far earlier than it should have been. Is that a potential winning opportunity gone up in smoke? Well, Mark warning me about delta speeds, even though we've already gone green flag racing once again here. But yeah, can't help but feel it's going to be Alex Albon and I dropping back down the order this afternoon. But yeah, tyre wear is looking like this might be possible. We just keep locking up down the end of the Wellington Straight. Perez this time round fancies a look around the outside of me. Again, we will just hang firm there. Staggered at the pace Albon's got in that Williams. Said he's kind of my benchmark, but yeah, let's just focus on our own race. Oh yeah, Perez. Oh, he's going to try and slam me out down the end of the back straight, but the Red Bull driver, I think, is going to sneak by. Not really too sure we've got much point in fighting this. Oh no! Oscar Piastri there tried to have an aggressive look down the inside. Certainly was no opportunity there for the Australian. Luckily no damage, and we'll hang on to P9. Don't think it'll be long before Perez sneaks by, but yeah, we're getting there in terms of pace today. Got to be careful of that. First track limits warning of the afternoon. Oh, that's a really stupid warning to get. Just had a touch of oversteer as we went out onto the back straight, and now we've got none left. Oh, here goes Oscar. Again, trying to look around the outside. That time around, though, into Maggots and Beckett's. And it's going to set me a little bit offline throughout the way. But again, we will just about hang on. I think Piastri's getting a bit bored, stuck behind me. But it doesn't look like there's a huge queue forming. Yep, and Albon now has lost the place to Sergio Perez as well. So hopefully, you might just be able to get a little bit closer to the Thai driver. Oh, big moment out onto the back straight. And I think that's going to be Lance Stroll saying thank you very much. Oscar Piastri also trying to have a look. We'll go 3 wide down the end of the hangar straight. They're still 3 wide. But somehow, despite that moment, we will hang on to the position. Albon, though, I'm sure is loving this behind because it means he's under less pressure. But boy, oh boy, are we just fighting to keep this thing on the island. And moments like that do no favours for the tyres. Well, we've really spent the last couple of laps learning where we're vulnerable to attacks from the AI there. Gap to Alex Albon is pretty much floating at around the 5-second mark, but yeah, looking at the tyre life still, we should be pretty good on these tyres to try and get into the end. The fronts are going to be absolutely screaming, but I feel like it's a strategy risk we've got to take today, especially with how much time you lose for a pit stop here at Silverstone. And if we get a safety car or a red flag in the second half of the race, you know, it could be instantly a freebie for us, as all the other Williams Logan Sargent's gone round. Please don't be a safety car now, because that would ruin any chance we've got. What's happened to Logan? Logan Sargent then heading down the back straight, not really under pressure or anything like that, just maybe trying to keep up with Danny Rick in front of him, and just gets a wheel on the curbing down the inside. We'll drop it round. I think we're going to see Richard Verschoor actually make contact with the Williams as well there, so my teammate couldn't quite avoid him. But Sargent, yep, left with a lot of work to do. That's interesting then. Team now starting to think the rain is stopping. I personally wouldn't say I've noticed much different, but that might put less stress on the tyres in the second half of the race. I imagine it's going to be about now we start seeing AI pit. Oh, there we go. Loads of cars in. So this is going to be very, very interesting then. I'm looking at those tyres now, though. The wear seems to be getting a little bit worse over the last couple of laps, especially on the front. So I think now what we're banking on is potentially a late race safety car coming in and saving me here, because we are not going to be that far in front of some of those runners either. Yeah, these tyres are going to be destroyed. There we go, front runners into the pits as well, so it's going to be nice not to have someone just on my gearbox, albeit it's probably only going to be for a couple of laps because Charles Leclerc is not that far back. But yeah, basically now, from whenever these cars head out of the pit lane, I am hoping for a safety car or a red flag. Well, it's not the first time Lancia, of course, has led this season. Monaco and Imola, we led big chunks of both of those Grand Prix, but Leclerc and Hamilton are taking a lot of time out of me at the moment. 11 laps to go here at the British Grand Prix. But of course, yeah, even if we just finish behind Albon still, I won't feel like I've lost anything. Well, Charles Leclerc's come up to my gearbox like a freight train on this lap, but doesn't mean to say we're going to make it easy for him. I'm still going to be trying to focus on my own race at the moment as we head down the hangar straight. In fact, no, Hamilton has gone past Charlie Boy, so they are squabbling right behind me here. Who's going to be the first one to get past me? Here comes Lewis, those who make our way down the back straight. I think this might be done and dusted. Oh, the Mercedes, though, desperate. Not only to get a pass, but make sure that I was blocked off as well from getting a run through the corner. Tyre wear warning light has just flashed up. 10 laps still to go here from Silverstone. I'm sure Charles Leclerc, it won't be long before he gets past me as well. Surely not down the inside here. Charles, that's mad! Why did he go for that? That was like Hamilton Verstappen 2021. But even scarier there is now Alonso. Gonna do even worse. What? The AI are mental around here. Carlos Sainz now as well. Gonna sneak by, and we are just dropping positions, sinking like a stone. I guess I'd rather we did it all in one go and lost less time, but now Sainz, you can see, gonna be slow out onto the hangar straight. Not quite gonna be able to get back alongside him, but yeah, a lot of those freebies that I was hoping to hang on towards the end of the race are not gonna happen. Here comes George Russell down the back straight as well then. Now we are starting to get more intel on some other drivers. That's the second Mercedes that's gone for an aggressive lunge down there inside 2 laps. But yeah, we're just dropping back. Even if a safety car just allowed us to box and still be ahead of the Williams or the Aston Martin, I would take it. But at the moment, neither of those are looking possible. It can all change in an instant in Formula 1. And boy, I'm hoping it does. Here comes Perez. To the outside he'll go. Sorry, it's Verstappen, isn't it, first of all? Red Bull still having a nightmare today. And how is Verstappen the driver that hasn't made an aggressive overtake? F123, ladies and gentlemen. Can be a very, very peculiar game. I'm sure now, though, he'll get a run on me down the back straight. No, here comes Checo Perez. Oh, both Red Bulls going to get past me. Verstappen will go through. Again, don't quite have the grip to hang on. And Checo Perez will say thank you very much there. Lucky. 7 laps to go then of this race. And Albon now only 5 seconds behind me. Lance Stroll only 11 seconds behind me, so we can only afford to lose a second a lap to the Aston Martin if we want to still score points here. It just takes one AI to upset the rear of the car to go for a spin and bring out a safety car. One mistake from someone and we could have a fighting chance towards the end of the afternoon, but I'm not confident. 7 laps to go here from Silverstone. We might still get a puncture before this race is down and out. But yeah, the AI going 2-3 seconds a lap faster than me still. Here we go, yellows. Someone going slowly. Come on. Come on, F1. This series so far has been so against me. Give me this one opportunity. Give me this one chance for something to go our way. It is Max Verstappen who is pulling over to the wayside here. Our second mechanical failure of the day. Verstappen is out. Give me a safety car. Virtual. It's not good enough. It's not enough. We need a full safety car. And we may as well box. Try and take the opportunity, because I don't think it's going to cost us any more time than we're already going to lose. But as we make our way into the pit lane then, nice and tidy on the way in. Oh, this is so annoying. A couple of virtual safety cars today, but they are not going to be enough to potentially give us the swing. I mean, how far back behind the likes of Gasly are we going to be in the final few laps here? I guess it's one less car that we've got to try and beat in Verstappen. But yeah, we are going to be way, way behind the Dutchman by the time we head back. Sorry, behind the cars that we're actually battling with by the time we head back out onto the track. We will definitely have a grip advantage, but it won't be enough, surely. We're going to be right down the rear of the field, and a 3-second time penalty still. Heading back out onto the track. When is this VSC going to be coming back in? Hopefully we'll have a little bit of delta to play with. VSC ending. Come on, get back under the delta. Right, we're going. How did I get a warning for exceeding track limits there? Did I run wide? I don't know. Anyway, P18 off the restart. Let's try and get anything late on in the day. I tell you what, this new set of the intermediate tyres feels very, very racy. So, you know, if there's silver linings to be had late on in the afternoon, it'll definitely be that. But yeah, we've got Alpha Tauris, Alfa Romeos just in front of me. I think, yeah, if we can get back up towards those points, I'd be very happy. But I think this 3-second penalty is going to screw me there as well. Bottas, just a little bit of a wobble through the final corner. Oh, Williams gone. Logan Sargent again for another spin this afternoon. He and Richard Verschoor having a nightmare here. I would not want a safety car now, though. Around the outside of Danny Rick we will go. Can we make it work through the second part of the loop? Yes, we will. Maybe now also getting a run on Zhou Guanyu down the back straight. Down the inside we will go. Yeah, we've got more grip at the moment. Maybe this race isn't over just yet. We are flying along. I mean, look at that. Even with a big wobble out onto the old front straight. And the outside of Valtteri Bottas, this is going to be scary stuff. Can we commit around the outside of the Alpha? Can't pick up another warning, I don't believe. But we will make it through. 3 overtakes this lap. We're cooking right towards the end. Magnussen having a look to the outside of Yuki. We're going to try and send it to the inside of Hulkenberg, which we'll do. Magnussen, though, not giving up on this one, as he's going to have the inside through Luffield. Hulkenberg back to the inside of myself. We're going to try and switch both of them, though, off the exit of the corner. Oh, Magnussen We had to try and find an avenue around the outside now of the Dane there. That was very, very scary stuff. As, I mean, you know what Kevin Magnussen's going to be like there. We just hang on to it inside track limits, and surely this will be another one for us. Up into P12 we go. Well, it's a shame for Zhou Guanyu, but it doesn't really change my race too much anymore. We've got 3 laps. Oscar Piastri 5 seconds up the road, but that 3-second penalty still. Trying to get a run then. Unless... What? That time round, I definitely didn't run outside the white line. Ocon trying to move me down in towards the braking zone, but we will get through. I'm going to slam that door. But 6 seconds worth of penalties then. I mean, we're not going to score points anyway. But will we be able to stay ahead of Magnussen? It won't be P11, but we might still get P12. Final lap then here of the British Grand Prix. And again, it is going to be yet another opportunity of asking ourselves, what if these 6 seconds now worth of penalties, luckily again I don't think is going to have any major impact in the bigger picture, but how many times this season are we going to be agonisingly close to points and still not walk away with any? Got to be one of the unluckiest campaigns I think I've ever had in an F1 game, you know, but we will get those points. I do ultimately believe we will score some points this season. The car and the team, we're heading in the right direction. We're getting better and better as well. And I really do think at the moment I'm driving at my absolute best there. But in towards the final few corners, I think it is going to be Lewis Hamilton who is going to walk away with the victory here at the British Grand Prix then. His first win in nearly 2 years of Formula 1. We've still got Oscar Piastri and Pierre Gasly battling just in front of me. But out of the final corner, Hamilton is going to take the dub here at Silverstone. I believe Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, is going to come through for P2 ahead of Fernando Alonso, who returns to the podium here. But can I possibly open up the final 4 tenths we need over Kevin Magnussen? The battle in front of me is still looking very, very intense here. I'm going to get yet another warning as we make our way in towards the final couple of corners. Will Piastri be able to complete the move on Pierre? No, he won't. And out of the final corner we go. I think it might be P13.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Plenty of action here at Silverstone, a memorable race and an impressive victory. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack, and having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. So let's review the drivers' standings. Well, not the result our points leader would have wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Well, for me it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the boring choice at this point, but you can't argue that he's a driver deserving of his reputation.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we are then, the end of the British Grand Prix, and another opportunity where I'm just left asking what if there. We did lose out to Magnus in the end by just 0.4 of a second, but Lewis Hamilton in 44 minutes there and 40 seconds, 0.44, rather impressively, will win the British Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc beats out both Spaniards with George Russell, Perez, Albon, Stroll, Gasly and Piastri scoring inside the top 10 there. But yeah, honestly, I'm not convinced whatever we could have done today would have been enough to get some points unless we'd been really, really lucky. It does mean at the top of the table, Verstappen and Leclerc, as we get to the halfway stage, tied now on 181 points apiece. So that is certainly a battle that is going to continue raging on throughout the rest of the season there. Good points for Albon, though, will bump him safely into P12 there, and Stroll as well, getting a nice handful of points on the board. Still, Lancia yet to score there. Red Bull now just a 13-point lead over Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, and Williams, yeah, now safely up in P7 there. Maybe, just maybe, they can try and challenge Alpine throughout the rest of the campaign there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we will be back very, very soon when Formula 1 returns to, I believe, the Hungarian Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss that. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise, and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.